Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So will it be also at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be out in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one will be left. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know on which day the Lord, your Lord, will come. Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. You too, so too you also must be prepared. For at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear brothers and sisters, good evening,
Good evening, Father.
and welcome to the first Sunday of Advent Eucharist. Our celebration in the first Sunday, as we have already witnessed, enables us to really be in touch with the symbols that represent this season. At nakita po natin, the candles were lighted. Rather, the first candle was lighted on top of the Advent wreath. And yung Advent wreath naman natin, we bless it. Normally, we do it on a first Sunday to begin the season of Advent. And here we are, says the Cardinal, as we heard his video presentation before the Mass. Ano sabi ni Cardinal Tagle? It is a time to be prepared. It is a time to take a look at our lives. Tingnan natin. Although tayo naman ay occupied with many things, especially looking ahead. Sa halip na Advent, some of us are already on Christmas. But His Eminence reminds us, as our Gospel this Sunday tells us, which is from Matthew chapter 24, verses 37 to 44. Ano po ang laman nito? Stay awake, be prepared. Gising at maging handa. And the reminder is known to all Jews and His disciples. The Lord allowed them to journey back in time. Sabi ng Panginoon, as it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. So ano po yung days of Noah? These were the days when the Lord sent a terrible punishment on the people. Ano po yung punishment na yon? The flooding. They call it the Great Flood. And that flood, as we know, killed so many people. So ano sabi ni Lord? In those days before the flood, they were eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. Remember, when the Lord told Noah, tell my people, tell your people, change their ways and join you in making the ark. Ano po ang ginawa noong mga kababayan ni Noah? Did they listen to him? On the contrary, they laughed at him, they mocked him, they insulted him. Ano sabi nila? How can we believe you? The weather is fine. And the building of the ark was really insulted. Sabi nila, ay nako, itong tao na ito, siguro may tama ito, may sira ito. How could he build an ark when the weather is fine? So ano sabi ni Lord? They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. And I could see at this time, looking at our history, the different floods that hit the world. Akala natin tayo lang ho ang binabaha. Even Europe has been flooded. Our neighboring nations had their own share of these terrible floodings. But this is not not in magnitude equal to that flooding that the people experienced. Of course, some critics would question, was it possible to have this kind of flood? But the point of the Lord is, if you do not change your ways, if you do not listen to me, as in the days of Noah, you will suffer the same fate. You will be victims of that flooding. So, will it also be at the coming of the Son of Man? Ganon din daw ang mangyayari. So how shall we face this? How shall we prepare for the coming of the Lord Jesus? Because there are two comings that we are preparing for. The first coming already took place 2,000 years ago. We call that the incarnation, the birth of Christ, which we celebrate on Christmas. But the second coming is what we await. The second one, the return of the Lord, which we call in Greek parousia. The return or the second coming. So ito pong dalawang pagdating ng Panginoon ay paghandaan natin. And the preparation is already mentioned, although not directly telling us that this is it as far as Advent is concerned. Let's go back to the reading, or rather the second reading, which is the letter of Paul to the Romans. Ano sabi ni St. Paul? This is chapter 13, verses 11 to 14. Sabi ni St. Paul, brothers and sisters, you know the time. It is the hour. Now is it for you to awake from sleep. For our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. So paano daw po ang gagawin natin? Let us conduct ourselves properly, as in the day, not in orgies, drunkenness, not in promiscuity and lust, not in rivalry and jealousy, but, says St. Paul, put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provisions for the desires of the flesh. St. Paul was talking to the Romans. As we all know, historically speaking, the Romans were the most powerful, the most advanced nations, the richest people during that time. But Paul had to reprimand them, had to remind them, mag-ayos kayo ng buhay ninyo because the time is coming. And we all know that the time that the Lord reminds us of, as He tells us, be sure of it. So too you also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. Pwede bang sabihin mo sa katabi mo, that time will come, we do not know, be prepared. Can we repeat that? That time will come, we do not know, be prepared. Alam niyo, nito hong mga nakaraang araw, I've been ministering to the dead. And yesterday, an elderly in our community at age 97 passed away. I visited her yesterday just minutes after she passed away. But you know, the good thing about this woman, dear brothers and sisters, our lay ministers who had been giving her communion could attest to that. She received the Lord Jesus. In fact, sabi nung family niya, kung pwede araw-araw. Because she has requested it, but I told her, once a week na lang po. And she gave in. Now, she has returned to the Lord. Napakagandang pabaon ang banal na Eucharistia. So I hope that this life of ours is something that we have to not only value, but at the same time, be able to ask ourselves, Lord, if you are going to come and visit me and my time has come, will I be ready to meet you? Because we do not know really when that time would come. So the Advent time is a time to say to ourselves, Lord, you will come anytime. I hope that when the time would come, I am prepared. I am ready. Please, Maranatha, that's the word used. Come, Lord Jesus. My life is open. My heart is ready. Everything is now prepared for your coming. But remember, this is just the first Sunday. There are 3 more weeks to go. But hopefully every Sunday, as we begin this Sunday, yung mga kandila natin, sisindihan na natin. Because now the candle lighted is the candle of hope. No matter what is happening around us, remember this. The message of the Lord is, please believe, I am the way, the truth, and the life. If you have hope, then nothing will ever take you away from me. Because those who believe will reap the harvest of goodness and blessing from me. Jesus, the divine healer, have mercy on us. Let us now profess